Pro wrestling fanatics, welcome back to another stacked episode of the 10 Count. I'm that Art of the B to the V, Richard Bronson, Vickrey. And as always, on the other side of the screen, hey, I'm going to jump right into it. A question for you, Mr. Paz. If you were one of those cool Colorado kids, would you rather live in Jacksonville or Cleveland?
Oh, boy. Definitely Jacksonville. Are you kidding me? Oof, I would definitely want to be living in Jacksonville.
Of course.
Cleveland.
Yeah, okay.
Cleveland.
This might be a running theme through today's episode where you're oh so wrong because the correct answer is always anywhere in the OHIO there, Paz.
Oh, believe me. Oh, brother, come on. I'd rather be anywhere in Florida than anywhere in Ohio. No offense to people in Ohio.
Hey, well,
no
of course, we're leading in with a little NFL draft talk. And, hey, that is our first of 10 topics for conversation today. Pause this past week, the NFL had their draft. What a spectacle, brother. They know how to do sports entertainment better than sports entertainment. The first night there, just in the little stage area, 250,000 fans. Over the course of the 3-day weekend, over 600,000. Plus, this isn't for the Super Bowl. This isn't for the playoffs. This isn't for a Monday night game. This is for Pick'em. This is the NFL draft. But I want to talk about a comparison to the WWE draft.
Very interesting with the NFL draft that people are so interested in guys they most likely don't know anything about, but just literally picking a name and having a random guy say the guy's name. It's crazy. I love it. And then obviously I follow college football, but just I find that so fascinating. People are so interested in the draft, like in droves. I mean, it's just insane how many people are interested in the draft. Every year it gets bigger and bigger. It's nuts.
Well, around it at its core, they create a sense that this is where everybody has hope. This is the fresh start where this could be your drive towards the Super Bowl. If you were the worst team, the best team anywhere in between. But as I mentioned there, from the stage show, from the guest appearances, from the storytelling, as you said, people most no one's heard of, but they know how to put those video packages together. They've got the celebrities, Chelsea Green, who we're going to talk about here a little bit later, Seth Rollins, who I know we're going to talk about on the show. What a announcement he had there in Green Bay, rocking his favorite team, the Chicago Bears, getting that audience riled up. To me, in the comparison with WWE, the NFL draft, WWE needs to copy every bit of it, from making it its own separate stage show to making it have special guests come out for occasional announcements. Not everyone, but occasionally. Have the war rooms where we have Aldis, where we have Pierce, even Shawn Michaels with a group of legends, weighing in on who's going to help their brands going forward. So putting on the hat in the mirror or the T-shirt, and then they can sell those as well over at the shop. WWE doesn't seem to really get the gist of how special the NFL makes theirs feel.
Remember years ago, though, they kind of dabbled in that stuff where you get the blue shirt or the red shirt, and they had the draft rooms kind of. Like, they kind of dabble in it, but didn't go all the way in it. But it was also a part of the show, so then they'd have the match, and that kind of, it convoluted the draft itself with the actual picks, but then they'd put a board to kind of remind you. I think, like you said, what if you just don't have any matches? You just have a draft with like a show, like a separate show where it's no matches. It's just video packages, the draft, and where each guys are going. And then you could see them on Raw or SmackDown, but make it a separate show altogether.
That brings up an interesting point to close that on. You know what I'd run that special on? I do it across all my social media on a Wednesday night from 8 to 10. See how you do there.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
Hey, with the WWE, it is about domination. It is about the game of risk. The game of global domination. Pause. Of course, the big news coming out of WrestleMania weekend, the purchase of AAA, WWE going into Mexico, and that immediately began speculation. Where else might they be going? A lot of with the Rock and his teaser with the Rubik's Cube and the New Japan T-shirt. We already have the working deal with TNA. Brother, I know you're into the business side of this. You follow all sorts of professional wrestling. What do you make of this? Pause.
It is one of those things where it could be risky because I think a lot of people might tune into those different programming or you're from a different country, so you're used to your kind of program. So if you're Japanese, you're used to New Japan, you might not necessarily like WWE. Yeah, if they come over once or twice You may be able to sell out some shows, but will that be able to be consistent? You can't really make it, to me, if you're in a different country, a WWE show per se. It needs to be true to the country. It needs to be true, like AAA. It needs to be true to Lucha Libre. I know they're keeping Conan on for creatively, but it's like you got to keep it to the roots. You can't just make it, let's make it a sports entertainment WWE show and do what we do in the States, because it doesn't necessarily work elsewhere. And I also found it interesting that they were looking at WWC in Puerto Rico as well. So, I mean, man, they are really, and like you said, New Japan Pro Wrestling deal with TNA. I mean, they're really trying to take over the globe. And I know UK, they've tried before, obviously, as well to kind of take over. Didn't really see too much success with that. It to me, I don't know, it's a risky business. You almost rather just make so much money doing a week tour in a place than trying to just take it over for a full year.
Well, it's what we're looking at here is what we've already seen when you and I were coming up in professional wrestling. This is the takeover of the territories on a much larger scale here.
Oh, yeah.
And I think what's different in this approach now, and they also have much greater resources with the new parent company and all the umbrellas that are happening there, all their partner, sister, brother, whatever business, combat style sports that they're dealing with there. What's important here now is it does seem, instead of just going into those markets and then trying to open up their own WWE brands, is they are realizing the importance of needing that stability, something that's already established there. Now, what's going to be telling going forward for everyone to keep their eye on, as we just mentioned, it seemed like the WWE sort of got what's happening with the NFL draft, but didn't go fully in. That's going to be the big question. Can they stay true to what these cultures value? Overall, but especially in their professional wrestling.
It's one of those things where sometimes it could be too much,
Speaking of too much, I think you might be in the camp of some of those that I've heard some rumblings on social media. But yes, it is official on the Cena farewell tour. Next man up, please step on up. We have found out who that's going to be. It's going to be at Backlash from St. Louis. It's John Cena, the 17-time champion, current reigning champion, defending against maybe his greatest rival ever, Randy Orton. Paz, it didn't seem like you were too thrilled about this choice.
So funny. I was just literally recently talking to my son about this. He likes this because obviously he used to like Cena. He does not like Cena anymore, but he likes it because he thinks Randy Orton is going to destroy Cena. He said Cena's got no chance. He's bigger than him. He's stronger than him. He seems faster than him. So he was making a point of like he likes to see because he thinks Orton's going to win. I said I think Cena's going to cheat, and I don't think Orton's going to win, unfortunately. But I said if it was one-on-one, fair and square, Orton would definitely win. But to me, not excited at all. Cena, and I know I talked about the messages to you, and Ben was saying this, which I agree with him kind of like, he worked the Rip Rogers, the simplistic, the style. He has shot knees. He has a bad back. He has a body and a frame that can't be that big for a sustained period of time, which is why his body completely broke down. He has lordosis, which is that curvature in the back, which is kind of making him hunched over where he can't really walk right. He is not. He's doing what he can. He's Andre the Giant in 1990. He can barely move. He can barely function. He can't really work.
Come on.
He can't really work.
Andre the Giant. Brother, we are talking
Can't really move.
We're not just talking about two of the absolute best of the last 2 decades. We're talking about two of the best all time when it comes to knowing how to handle their business inside of that ring. Cena, Orton, they're going to put together a masterful match, a great story. They're going to have the crowd eating out of the palm of their hand. And for those that are saying, we've already seen this. This is a farewell tour. When you go to see your favorite band, you want to hear them and you want to hear their greatest hits. That's what this is. Anyone that didn't think at some point we're going to get Cena versus Orton is absolutely crazy. What better time than fresh out of WrestleMania, the hot program there. We're going to be in Orton's hometown, so they're going to be crazy for the baby here in Orton. It's a little bit of a fresh twist. I would believe this is the first time that Orton has been the babyface when these two have squared off. So it's going to be unique. I love you, but you're absolutely crazy if you can't get excited for this one.
I absolutely cannot, although I do love Orton. I love that it's his hometown because then the crowd is really, really going to be into it. Cena without The Rock, to me, worthless. Absolutely worthless.
man. Okay, that is still a little bit of letdown. That would be a conversation for a later show. Now we are about conversations here on the 10 count, but hey, you know what? I wanted to take a moment for some appreciation here on the show. The great, she has been so masterful lately. Chelsea Green, as seen this past week, well, she was at the draft representing. She's been doing such great character work, great in-ring work for the past couple months for the WWE and beyond there. She drops the Women's United States Championship, and even more shockingly, afterwards takes to the Twix and announces that she is going on an extended leave from WWE. Paz, any rumblings of why? Is this a break? If she got something personal going on? And why is Chelsea so important to this WWE product? And while you're talking, just as a little, for our fans out there, we're just going to throw up a little picture of Chelsea there.
Nice. I don't know why, but I was just kind of speculating, and I have no facts on this, but maybe she wants to start a family. Maybe her and Matt Cardona maybe starting to maybe look to have a kid or maybe multiple kids or something. Maybe that's why the break. I wasn't really sure. I was kind of shocked by it because she was on such a roll and she was getting so over and she was doing such a good job. And I was listening to an interview with her talking about how every minute or every second you're on, you have to take advantage of it, even if it's on social media. So, man, she was like hitting the nail on the head, like, oh, Chelsea, you lost, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't care. I'll go on social media and make us think about it. I'll make even a bigger name for myself, the fact that I lost and I'm pissed off about it and stuff. So she really gets it and she knows what she's doing for sure. So I was kind of shocked to see if she's going to be, hopefully, maybe she's working on saying that she's taking a break. So
hopefully that's it. Maybe comes back with something bigger. I heard some rumblings. Maybe she's going to reemerge with Cardona, actually making a return to WWE.
Oh, wow.
Ben and I talked about on the Monday locker room this past week. Maybe they do want to start a family. If that's the case, congratulations to them. But you said the ultimate team player. I know she was recently asked about being left off WrestleMania, and she admitted, obviously, that hurts, but there's only so many spots. She realizes that. She congratulated the women that were there, said that they did a tremendous job of representing the entire division of women's wrestling. So she is that team player, and she has been absolutely one of the MVPs of the last at least six months to a year instead of her character work, everything that she's doing, everything, as you said, Paz, they throw at her. She does such an incredible job. So again, Chelsea Green, if it's an extended break, if you're going to come back in the short term, we thank you for all that you've done, and we're absolutely going to miss you. Now, on that women's front, though, as we're going to miss her, Chelsea, and her character work, there is a lot to look forward when it comes to the WWE's women's division. Maybe a little too much, maybe not enough room there. Paz, are we potentially looking at an NXT women's, pun intended here, takeover when it comes to the red and blue brands?
Yeah, because it seems like Roxanne Perez going to be on the main roster. Seems like Julia sooner or later is going to be up there. Stephanie Vickrey is on Raw, a few weeks in a row. Obviously, Jada Parker can get called up. Gigi Dolan. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Tatum Paxley that can just get called up. But it just seems like we are going to have an NXT women's takeover. But to me, it's crazy. The women in NXT are, as soon as they get on the roster, they're already over. Everybody already knows them. They're familiar with them. They really like them. They're usually pretty good workers.
It does seem like a little bit of the opposite from the men who get lost.
Yeah,
in that that is a tremendous point.
It is weird. It's kind of strange. One thing I noticed, and I know people might get upset about this, and I have to mention this. Have you noticed that they're all extremely attractive as well? Like Stephanie Vickrey is, obviously she's a knockout. Julia is, Jada Parker, Roxanne, they're all good looking too. So it's one of those things where whoever's recruiting down there in NXT, not only are they recruiting for the in-ring and the personalities and the promos, they're definitely getting the cream of the crop as far as attractiveness too, which obviously plays a role. And obviously for the men, that can play a role for some people as well. But I just noticed, like, man, like every girl they call up, not only can they work, they talk, they wrestle, but they're all good looking. It's pretty remarkable with NXT.
As the vet says, just look at them. To me, though, maybe a little bit of concerns for maybe some of your favorites out there, the fan favorites that already established. I'm talking at the very even top, the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Baileys, the Biancas, and especially that middle of the pack there that might just be hanging on. Are we going to see? And I know there's a lot. We've got the two top championships divisions. We got the two singles mid-card and the women's. So that's 5 women's divisions, but they are still kind of held back with those restraints of their segments each and every week with all that programming. How much room is there going to be? Are we going to see some of those that have been in the system for 5+ years starting to be pushed out, phased away, as we just create younger, maybe even says more attractive, more athletic versions of these characters?
Hey, that's just the nature of the beast. That's just the way the business goes, and I think that is exactly probably what will happen. Because I know they have so many hours of TV per week, but man, they have just so many females now, and they all could be on TV, and they could all be getting storylines. So it's one of those things where I don't know, maybe too much of a good thing could be good, but too much of a good thing could also be, you're going to lessen everybody's time, so it could actually turn out to be a negative.
Yep, there we go. Well, speaking of somebody who was looking for more WWE airtime, and what a way to grab some major WWE airtime than at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. Paz, I want to ask you this, though. Everybody from the TNA audience to the WWE audience and all points in between, they have been buzzing about Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Say his name up here. Buy or sell, Paz, on Joe Hendry?
I'm buying. I love the guy. I was just on the TNA press pass. I got to ask him a question because
what was the big question there, brother?
So I want to know like how he dealt with oddly. Oh, it's awesome, great picture. Like the negativity, because I saw a lot of negativity. Like, the match was too short. Oh, he should have went over. Oh, he should have did this. Oh, he should have did that. Like I thought it was the perfect pop. He got a huge pop, a huge reaction, one of the loudest pops of the night. I just thought everything was great. Come on, it's Orton's 20th WrestleMania. He's one of the greatest of all time. And he, you know what I mean? I didn't expect him to win. Oh, the match was too short. I didn't. So I was just wanted to know his not suggested, but what he thought about some of the negativity. And he was saying that Cena was talking about how it's very positive. Look at the metrics. Your shirt just sold out. Like he was giving him advice about how don't listen to like anybody negative. You focus on what's important, and that those are the metrics, and all the key metrics kind of hit it out of the park. And I mentioned, did he think he got one of the loudest pops? And he said he's going to go back and check the decibel because they had the decibel meter, and he thinks he might have gotten one of the loudest pops. So I think he's great. I like him. He's like a meme catcher, if you will. Like he throws a meme out there, and people go to it. People love his theme song. People know his theme song. They know him. That look that he gives, the spin. I mean, he's already got everything down to be a WWE superstar.
Well, hey, you put it out there. I'm also going to buy on this. I'm a fan of it right now. And I even like what Henry himself said. It's about positioning, being in the right place, and making the most of opportunities in professional wrestling. Now, I will say, just to play devil's advocate here on the sell side of things. Obviously, anybody in the ring is going to be dwarfed by Randy Orton. But
look at Cena. Cena got dwarfed by it.
But even when Henry showed up in NXT this past Tuesday, looking rather on the small side compared to Trick and Obi.
Those guys are huge too. Yeah, there's some big boys.
Those guys look like they could have gone in the NFL draft as well this past week.
So, like, I've obviously been to a bunch of TNA shows, but I was there for Joe Hendry. Like, man, he's so big in person. Like, he's big. Then you see the WWE guys, and you're like, okay, these guys, this is a different animal. This is like, where the Sharks play. Like, oh my God. Obafemi is gigantic. Obviously, Orton is huge. Cena was even talking about Orton, how big he is, like how he looks so small compared to him. He's like, what happened with it? Like, oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is on that other level. Not really fair to make that comparison. Joe Henry doing great biz right now. Other hot topic, though, maybe not so good for business, and that is The Rock's appearance on the Pat McAfee show, where, brother, he just completely pulls back the curtain. He's giving away storylines. He's giving away the process. He's giving away future, not just the planning of the ones we've already seen. He's giving away future storylines and results here. The Rock, Paz, your thoughts on what he had to say on the Pat McAfee show, how he's been handling business since WrestleMania, not leaving a positive flavor in so many fans' taste buds.
I love The Rock, and I'll never turn against him, but I got to say, man, that was just not good. I don't know. That was just one of those like weird things where he's like, oh, that's not how I would have booked it. Like, what? Like, dude, what are you doing? No, what do you say? You can't say that.
That's the interesting part, though. The Rock trying to take credit in certain ways, about his vision for this thing, but he has got that scapegoat for himself. He
Yes.
has got that. Well, if this does blow up, this was kind of
Yes.
Triple H. This was John's idea.
Yeah.
Those were the things
Yeah.
that were a little telling here, which might be more of the story about a continuing power struggle at the top of the WWE.
Man, just like you think about, okay, Rock, you didn't show up to Mania. You had to have shown up. You literally ruined the complete storyline. Whether you say, "Oh, I didn't want to take away from John," you took away from him, irregardless. By not showing up, you actually overshadowed him even more. If you were there, I mean, come on, this motherfucker Travis Scott. I mean, come on, that's Jesus. Like he's the guy that took your spot to have Cody lose and have Cena win. Like, come on, that was so goddamn bad. Holy crap! You cannot place The Rock with 150-pound like celebrity, quote unquote. I mean, come on.
And
The
that
guy's
is,
small compared to David Arquette. Like the guy he's small than small.
If it would have been The Rock in that spot, completely different reaction from the audience. We'd probably be talking about one of the greatest finishes to WrestleMania.
Yes.
It's just having the right pieces to the puzzle, the right players. Now, when it comes to the storytelling, if this is what they thought was right, I would suggest to The Rock, there's a reason that he stars in the movies in Hollywood and he doesn't write them.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's stick to what you're good at there, buddy.
Yeah. I'd love to defend him, but man, that was a awful interview and just revealed too much, exposed too much, and the fact that he basically was kind of doing like like going like hypocritical, I guess you could say, like, oh, I would have done it this way, but maybe I could have done this. Like, dude, you could have been there, and you're one of the bosses. You could have been there. You could have shown up. You could have done it.
You're the final boss.
Yeah, you're the final boss. Jesus, come on, man. Like that was, bad all the way around.
The Rock, one thing he does know about it is making big time money. Right now, that's what the WWE is about across the board. You're a money man. You talk the business of the business each and every weekend. This headline really jumped out to me, Paz. The cost of having WWE in your city. This is the one that really got there. You actually turned me on to some other articles, some of the financial figures with WWE. This is the one that got me going here. This is big money. A lot of people that doubt, WWE's coming to town. Well, think again here. This one here. Sorry for the blurriness. I know Orlando bids $18 million to host WrestleMania and major UFC events. This will be a few different WWE events, UFC, but that is some big time bucks to get professional wrestling in the city.
Man, think about that. Not only are you WWE, you're going to go to those towns, you're probably going to sell it out, you're probably going to sell thousands upon thousands of tickets, but the city, and this has been going on for a couple of years now, but now the money, like you said, 18 million, the money just keeps getting jacked up. They are actually being paid to bid on like a Super Bowl, being paid like, hey, SummerSlam, we'll pay you this amount, which they're paying for in New Jersey, by the way. Phil Murphy is paying WWE to do SummerSlam in New Jersey. Minneapolis paid them a ton. Now it's going up to 18 million for Orlando. I know it's going to be a couple shows and UFC makes, but they're paying them so to even have WWE even be like considering your town, you're going to have to give them money. Man, what a crazy business, and awesome for WWE, and for the people that say, "Oh, it's a dead industry." I just kind of laugh because they're making money just by saying, "Hey, we're WWE," and the town is like, "We'll give you $5 million to show up and do a PLE." You know what I mean? It's just it is crazy how much money.
And when you break down some of the money, where it's going to infrastructure. Stadium renovations, helping out with the transit, lodging, all of that is entailed into this thing to upgrade their tourist attraction. Hey, not so much kudos, but how about to the wrestling fans that we have proven that we can make a difference, that we will bring the bang for the buck, baby. That's who's doing that, and that's globally the attraction. It's the fans that are doing this.
Hey, I thought wrestling fans were poor. What happened here? I thought wrestling fans were poor. They didn't attract money. They didn't attract business. What happened to that? SummerSlam just released packages for $40,000, and they sold out 40,000 in the limited tickets. They sold out. Who the hell is a wrestling fan that has $40,000 throw away, like mortgage payments, like to put down payment on a home? Basically, it's like,
hey, you know what?
Oh,
not a massive army of dudes without girlfriends living in their parents' basements can put away a lot of bucks, baby. Hey,
Oh,
I was heartbroken to see some of those SummerSlam packages. I had set aside a goal, a little reward for myself. I was going to come up and visit you guys during SummerSlam weekend, make the
man.
rounds, try to take the event in. I'm still on the goal to get up there for all the festivities. I just don't think I'll be watching SummerSlam from inside a stadium. I think I'll be at a
Yeah.
local park.
It's insane because my son was saying something about going. I said, "Do you want to sit in bad seats?" He's like, "No, I want good seats." And I was like, "Oh, that's probably gonna be $1,000 a piece." And I was like, "Can't do it. Like, you just can't. It's just too much." And on top of that, just to talk about like money, supposedly Netflix is going to offer WWE for just WrestleMania. It was either, I didn't get the year amount. It's either 5 or 10 years, something like that. But they're just Mania to put on Netflix, $1.2 billion.
Wow. Holy.
So just insane. Yeah.
Wow. Well, where WrestleMania is going to end up city-wise, distribution-wise, is a mystery. Well, we have got another big mystery dropped today, Paz. You might have some insight. You might have been on the phone. You might have been the man behind the camera
Yeah, I wish.
on this one. And we're talking Eazy-E, Hollywood Hogan, and who is the third man? This mysterious video shot in a NWOS style drops today. You've got the bad boys back together again. Easy, Eric Bischoff, Hollywood, Hulk Hogan. They've said it. They've done it before. They have shocked the world. They've changed the world of professional wrestling. They are ready to do it again. But who is the third man this time around? The teaser, we get the director's chair right there. And they've sworn that this man, you can't even count the championships, how much of a badass he is at what he does. Paz, what do you make of sense? Do you have any insight? Please tell me you know what's going on.
I don't know. I've heard rumors that him and Bischoff are doing a podcast together. I heard rumors that it might be Conrad Thompson as the third man, which would kind of, and I love Connie, and I'm friendly with Connie. That would kind of be just a little bit of a downswing, just because you got Bischoff and you got Hogan, the greatest of all time, and then it's like, oh, then Conrad. You kind of would expect it to be another wrestler. Nothing against Conrad. I'm just saying, I thought,
could you imagine a heel Conrad, the ultimate
maybe.
from the ultimate mortgage man? Is just going to start stealing money from you and not saving you money?
But you know who I was thinking that would be the third man. This is why I was like, no offense to Conrad, would be a down thing. I thought they might have been saying they're going to do something with Dennis Rodman. I thought they were going to do something with NWO Dennis Rodman or something like that. That's what I was thinking.
He's got championships. He's got pull around a globe. Hey, when you said Connie the championships, I thought maybe a little swerve. He's a belt collector. He's got all them beautiful championships.
Yeah, that could be. That is true. That could be.
What about the other ultimate swerve? I asked Ben this. One of his boys, one of your boys. Maybe you know. Is it Russo? Is he the third man this time around?
Whoa, no way. And with Vince's third book coming out, Bischoff and Hogan are really going to hate him because he's talking about his time working with them in TNA. So now they're really going to hate him and not going to want to do anything or work with him. And it's funny. It was a rumor I saw online, which makes no sense, and I don't know what they would do. Did you see this rumor? Not Vince Russo, but people are saying Vince McMahon. They're doing something with Vince. And I was like, no way. What would he be doing? That would be nuts. That'd be absolutely crazy.
No, they're going back to the three of the most powerful figures in the last 40 years of professional wrestling teaming up for something. It's going to be that's going to be one of the headline stories that everyone's going to be keeping their eye on. Well, Paz, hey, we're about at that time again here. We got through 9 of them, which means that magic number 10 each week here on the 10 count is the Pro Wrestling Pop of the Week. And this, we saw at WrestleMania, John Cena, record-breaking 17-time champion. Paz, would you be excited for this? AEW has the opportunity to do something historic. That moment we've been talking about that sets them apart. And damn it, it would be absolutely hilarious. AEW, just keep up with it. How about this right here?
Yes.
The funniest and greatest thing ever. Put it back on Flair as many times as you need it.
That is funny, and that is true. And I mentioned it to Russo. Russo said he would do it. If he was Khan, he would do it. Make him the 17-time champ. Why not?
17, 18, 19, 20, however many times you need.
Yeah, whatever you need,
Until they go away. They got him under contract. Your Pop of the Week. Tony Khan, do it, baby. Ric Flair, 17, 18, 19, whatever it takes. All right, Paz, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the 10 count. Be sure, hey, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, share. We love you. We will see you back here next episode again on the 10 count.